Okay, we're going to continue on. Now we've come to our current material, our Unit 5 Objective 3 material, where we have word problems and we need to be able to work with finding slope and writing equations. The basic is really focused on this concept of slope. And so we're going to read this next problem together. It says you want to have your birthday party at GameWorks. It costs $55 to have a party, plus an additional $6 per person. The equation y equals 6x plus 5 models the cost of the party, which is the y value, with x number of people. The first question asks us is to explain what the slope means in this situation. So when we look back at this problem, there's a couple things we need to notice. First of all, pay attention to what the variables are representing. In this case, the cost of the party is the y, and x is the number of people who are invited to this party. The question that we're looking for at the moment says to explain what the slope means in this situation. So first of all, we need to figure out what the slope is. Remember that slope is the same thing as rate of change. And we have a key word that we look for to see if that slope is directly given to us in the problem. We look for the word, hopefully you're already thinking it, per. We look for the word per. If I read through the problem again, you want to have your birthday party at GameWorks. It costs $55 to have the party, plus an additional $6 per, there it is, per person. That's our key hint, which tells us to take all that information, $6 per person, and identify that as our slope, our rate of change. It is $6 per person. It does ask us to explain what that means. And so we have a bit of an explanation just in the labels. But to be even more clear, we have to understand that that's telling us that the cost of this party increases by $6 for each person who's invited to the party. So I'm going to write $6 per person at the party. Okay, that's what we're really looking for, is an explanation, so we're going to identify that as our final solution. Part B asks us to explain what the y-intercept means in this situation. Okay, remember from last class that the y-intercept is the starting value. And so in this scenario, our starting value is the original cost before any increase in people for the party, increase in cost by the people invited to the party. So this problem tells us it costs $50 to have the party, just to have it, plus an additional $6 per person. So we increase the cost of the party by inviting people, but there is a base cost for this party, and that base cost is $55. So our explanation might go something like this. The party costs $55 with no people invited, with 0 people. That's pulling out the key information that we need for this problem. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and go on to answering some questions. It says your parents say that you have only $100 to spend on your party. How many people can you invite to your party? Now we gave you a hint within the problem. $100 is the y value. Y is the cost of the party. How many people is the x value, can you have at your party? So we know the y, we don't know the x. So we're going to put the y value in for the y. $100 equals 6x plus 55, the remainder of the equation. Now we're going to solve to find x, which is the number of people we can invite to this party. Solving this equation, we want to get x alone. That's the whole idea of solving an equation, is to find the value of the variable, so we want to get that alone. So we're going to do that by undoing everything that's done to the x. We undo our addition and subtraction before multiplication and division, so we start by subtracting that 55. When we do that, we get 45 equals, and what's left on the right side is 6x. And then continuing to solve that, we need to find x's value. So I'm going to continue this up here and rewrite it. I have 45 equals 6x. Solving to find x, I divide each side by 6 since it's 6 times x. And we get 9 for our x. And we can invite 9 people to our party if we want to keep our cost at $100. Okay, one additional question. How much would it cost if you had 25 people? Again, people is x at your party. So y is our cost. So we want to find the y. This time we have 6 times our 25 people plus 55. If we find the value, simplify that statement, we get y equals 205, which tells me it costs $205 to have 25 people at this party. So finding slope, finding y-intercept, being able to answer questions are the basic concepts of our Unit 5 Objective 3. So here's one more example for us to look at. Number 7 says, a model airplane flying at 2,500 feet begins descending at 75 feet per minute. First thing it asks is to find the rate of change. Okay? Rate of change is slope. The key word that we look for if it's given in the problem is the word per. As I look through the problem, here it is. Okay? Identifying the per allows me to see what's being changed. The change that's happening is we're descending at 75 feet per minute. So we're descending, we're decreasing. So I need to have a negative slope, negative 75 feet per minute. That is our rate of change in this situation. The second question says, what's the y-intercept? Y-intercept, that's our starting value. And if I think about our scenario, we have an airplane that's flying at a certain height, and then it begins descending. So the starting value is the starting height. In this case, the height that the airplane's starting at is up at 2,500 feet. Okay, that's our initial value for the height of this model airplane. All right, I'd like you to use these examples plus our notes from last class to work on a little bit of practice. I'm going to have you work back again on your practice 2 sheet. So pause this video, work on practice 2, and do the following problems. Do number 6 and number 7.